Giám khảo ngồi một góc rồi.
Ngồi góc. Okay. Một phút nữa mình bắt đầu nha. Ở đây thì để xem còn các ban giám khảo khác. Thế là sao chưa có? Okay, so we will start in 2 minutes. So everyone, please get ready so that we can start the section today. I'd like to check the Ho Chi Minh office. Are you ready? All the teams are here.
Okay.
Okay. Hanoi office is ready now. And how about the judge? We have anh Kevin and anh Hùng sit next to anh Kevin, right?
Yeah, already.
Okay. And how about Summer? Summer is here. Hello, Summer.
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
And Jeff also here. I want to hear. I want to see your face, Jeff.
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone.
Okay. So, the section today will be live streamed on our Facebook fan page. So don't hesitate to mention any of your friends to enjoy the section today with us. And now let's start. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Queen from the Executive Office of Cinnamon AI, and I'm so glad to be here with you at the demo day of Cinnamon AI Bootcamp 2023. The AI Bootcamp is an annual program that Cinnamon AI commits to provide to the young talents who are interested in developing their career in AI field. And during the program, we provide the training, the mentoring from the AI expert in Cinnamon to the young talents so that they can extend their potential as well as speed up their career in AI. And as you can see, this year program theme is about full stack AI, the next gen AI expertise. So we want to emphasize on the importance of comprehensive understanding of the AI pipeline, from conducting the research, doing training, until making it like the real world applications. And now in the demo day, is the final milestone of the program this year. We have 23 talented students who passed through a lot of competitive rounds since the middle of May, and to be here at the final project will be delivered to you today. So before going to the important content of today's session, I would like to share a quick recap of the program. Let's see who are the 23 students and what are waiting for us during the section today. Okay. Here will be quick video. Wow, such an amazing journey of our students, right? And I just remember 2 months ago, I still sit here with the students in Hanoi office. And when they first met the mentor and also the teammates, and 2 months already just passed. And I believe that a lot of change happened. A lot of lecturers delivered a lot of mentoring and knowledge exchange. And I believe that the students grow a lot during the journey. And I'm so excited to see your performance today at the final presentation. And before going to the final presentation of the students, I think we cannot miss a very important people in today's session, who are the experts in their field, who will give the comments and the feedbacks to the student, and also decide the prize to the teams today. So I would like to introduce the judge in today's final demo day. From Cinnamon AI, we have the leaders, Mr. Jeff as the director of AI group. We have Mr. Kevin, head of engineering, and Ms. Summer, Vietnam country manager, and also AI operations manager. And we are so very glad to have Dr. Tân from the National University of Singapore, and Mr. Hùng is the former director of engineering from Trusting Social. So before the judge do their job, I want to hear from you. Maybe just say hi to the student or share your feeling now. Quickly, like just 1 or 2 minutes, it's okay. So starting from Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Can I hear your voice?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Jeff Young, current AI team director in Cinema AI. And yeah, I think I'm familiar with almost all our members here, and also student joined bootcamp since, if you still remember, I was the lecturer in second week, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I hope like you have learned a lot through this journey. And since I have also discussed with your mentor like through the time, and I believe a lot of members here like acquire a lot of knowledge and have fun and enjoy this bootcamp. And I think it's always excited to join bootcamp, and also it's very excited to be a judge in this demo day, because like I can also see a lot of very fascinating idea which might not be seen or proposed from our research team before. So yeah, I think that's all, and good luck.
Oh, so cool. Thank you, Jeff, for your introduction. And thank you for also being our lecturers in the second week too. And next one, I want to hear from Mr. Kevin.
Hi everyone. Yes,
Hello.
I'm Kevin. So I'm very proud today here with you guys. Maybe you guys see me around the office, but yeah, have never had a chance to work with you guys. So yeah, I am the head of engineer, and I have been working for Cinnamon 2 and 6 months. Yeah, and during my work over Cinnamon, we've been working very hard and very close with the AI engineer, AI researcher to build up the product, because you know that like just the model is not enough, right? We need a lot the ecosystem, everything infrastructure to make it work, to make it scale. Yeah. So hopefully I can today we can have more discussion about your performance. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kevin. And I can see next to you is Mr. Hùng. So can I hear from Mr. Hùng?
Okay. Okay. Hi everyone. I'm excited to be here. I'm Hưng fans. Okay. And I was the director of engineer at Justin Social, a fintech company. I managed a team about 80 members building several AI products. Okay. And I think that understanding and ability to build the application using AI is not just a competitive skill, it's a required skill in the near future. To solve, the engineer need that skill to build an application to solve the real world problem. So it's exciting that you guys already pay attention to the AI field when you are a student. Okay, and hope we can have a very good session today. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hùng, and thank you for joining us today again. We are so appreciate your presence today. And lastly, I would like to hear from Miss Summer. Hello, Summer.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yes, yeah, actually, I also the same as Jeff and Mr. Kevin and Hong. I feel very excited for now. Every year when we have the bootcamp, there are always fresh air inside the team. And so, although I just like had the chance to meet some of you, but I can already get that feeling also via our mentor who are always like beside you along the way. And as you might know, that in Cinnamon, it's very special that we put the core technology from the Vietnam team, and we always care about the practical solution, the AI, practical AI application. So that's why I'm very excited to hear today further about the practical idea and how you would like to bring the real value to the end user from the AI. So I think, yeah, that's all from me. Let's start our journey. Great.
Thank you, Summer. Yeah, and the fifth just today is Dr. Tân from the National University of Singapore. Due to some technical issues, so we cannot hear from his introduction in this part. So we may hear from his comments in the later part. Okay, wow. So I hope and I believe that the presentation today of the students will not disappoint our judge. So let's get ready for the main part of today is the team presentation. In the team presentation, we will have 5 teams. Each team will have 10 minutes for the presentation and 10 minutes for the Q&A. So they will answer the question from the judge or can be the question from the other teams too. And this is the order of the team. And let's welcome the first team, Team One Vision, under the mentor of Tyler, and the project of One Vision named Magic Motion. So the Team One Vision has 5 members, 5 students, all located in Ho Chi Minh City. And I think the name is very straightforward because they are all interested in computer vision. So they have one vision as computer vision, I guess. So now I think the team get ready and let's spend the most of your 10 minutes now.
Hello everyone, thank you for today. So first I will share my screen to start a presentation. Can you see my screen? Okay, welcome to the presentation. Today we are thrilled to introduce our exceptional team of 5, and our esteemed mentor is Tyler. Our team's name is One Vision. We are here to showcase our journey through the realm of motion capture technology, and we name it Magic Motion. Once again, our outstanding mentor is Mr. Tyler, and I'm Thin, and there are Nguyen, Kha, and Un in our team. Okay, so first is our table of contents. It outlines the main section of our report. The first part is the motivation. It provides insight into reasons that inspire our project, and it also implies practical application and business impacts. So the next section is about the methodology. This section learn about technique and mechanism we need to achieve our objective. About the third and the fourth section, we continue our report to show our pipeline in the application. So let's get started. Okay, so our application is motivated by wonder dynamic. At this application, we fascinated by the motion capture amazing ability. It helps us to bring life to digital creation. As you can see, make them move like real people, and this technology has the power to change how to tell the stories and even also improve different industries. With motion capture, we are learning new things every day and contribution to the future of the technology. And AI motion capture is a wide range of practical applications. You can see we have virtual reality and augmented reality. This motion capture enhances the immersion of it, of VR and AR experience by providing realistic and responsive interaction with virtual environment and so on. About the physical therapy, you can see motion capture can aid in monitoring the patient progress and tracking their movement during rehabilitation exercise and providing real feedback to both patient and therapists. And of course, filmmaking, you can see AI motion capture can assist in creating realistic movement of CGI creatures and characters, improving you can see visual effects quality. So motion capture technology has a wide range of business impacts, but due to limited time, so let's just skip it for the next section. So once again, this section learns about the technology and the mechanism we use it to achieve our objectives. Our product can be divided into 4 separate steps, including segmentation, visual embedding, motion capture, and color matching. Unfortunately, we removed the last module due to limited time. So let's get the ball rolling to the first part. Okay. As you can see, computer vision has a couple of regular tasks, including classification, localization, object detection, and object segmentation. As you can see, the traditional encoder and decoder architecture reduce the image size, so it loses a bunch of information. Thus, it works insufficiently on image classification tasks or also image segmentation tasks. As a result, we leverage UNet to overcome the problem. So UNet has many benefits, including skip connection, symmetric architecture, and feature reuse. With the benefit, it allows direct connection between the encoder and decoder layers. So this maintains the file range details and adding the precise segmentation. So continue to the second stage, we use E2 FGBI, which stands for end-to-end flow guide video embedding. As you can see in the previous methods, the frame does not connect perfectly when it is compared to the outstanding mechanism. So previous method have many handcrafted operations, including you can see also blending or solving linear equations, and they can only be used in CPU. So it costs multiple times, and the real-time progress is unreal. In contrast, the proposed mechanisms has an end-to-end flow, so it can leverage GPU for computing, and moreover, it also overcomes the inaccurate drawbacks of previous technology by using visual propagations. As a result, it can be used in real-time processing. Okay, so let's move to our last stage called motion capture. And in this stage, we use Frank mocap repository. You can see previous motion capture methods. It has a multiple of complex setup with the using of multiple views, and therefore the processing time is cost a lot of time. So it has a limited accessibility compared to the Frank mocap. It's only use a single camera. So based on regression and iteration, it can leverage and overcome the drawbacks of the previous method to attack the real-time processing. You can see. So continue to the third and the fourth session. I will leave the rest of the presentation to Mr. Nguyen.
Okay, so in this part, I will talk about the pipeline of our Magic Motion product. So as usual, we will have a front end and a back end. A front end to serve the user interactivity, and the back end is to process all of the pipeline that Tận has just mentioned. So with the front end, the user will have an option to upload the video, and will click the button to generate the magic motion. And with the click of a button, it can call the API to the back end. And in our back end, we will split our pipeline into two branches. The first branch is the Frank mocap. We will push the video input into the Frank mocap. And the second branch, we're going to have two segmentations and video inpainting layers. And these two branches will be merged together into a final output. And of course, we have to put it through some post-processing. And then finally, the output will be in a request path to the result. And then the path to result will be transferred back to the front end, so that the user can see the result. So without any further ado, let's give a sweet demonstration of our product. So this is what our web looks like. So this is so we just uploaded the video, and we click the convert button, and and it should take some time, but here is our output. As you can see, previously there was Einstein standing there, but now it's replaced with a new mannequin that is blended into the scene. Okay, and lastly, we would like to talk about some of the future works and what we can do to make this even greater. The first suggestions that first consideration is the virtual character insertion or the SMPL models. As we've seen, this mocap, motion capture can, we can actually insert our own animated character, so that let's say, we're shooting a video of we dancing, and we can insert some anime characters into the scene, replacing our motion, so that it generates a more immersive experience. Also, we would love to have real-time inference with some faster state-of-the-art model, and hopefully we can use our direct camera, our webcam, to be able to bring a more immersive experience. And we would love to have high-resolution inputs, as our user would love to have 4K videos and higher frame rates. So here are our references. So that is the end of our presentations. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you, the first team delivering the amazing presentation. And you did great job today. And now is the Q&A from the church. They want to hear the question from the church. We have 10 minutes for this Q&A. So you can put the question or even the comments and feedbacks to the team.
Yeah, okay. So maybe I can ask first question. The first I'd like to thank for sharing our team. It's actually quite funny. And yeah, a lot of detail have been shared, and the vision and the purpose have been shared clearly, including their technical process. So congratulations, I think it's quite complete sharing. Yeah, so I mean, from technical perspective of one question. So in the beginning, you already decide to make it step by step, or have you ever considered to make it more like the end-to-end solution instead, for example, trying to train a unit combined with the follow-up module? Have you ever considered to build it as one solution instead make it separate steps so you can reach your target, first target, for example, make it more real time in the future?
Okay, so we will discuss with our team and answer it in a few seconds.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for the question from the chef. Our solution for that drawbacks is that we will adjust our pipeline. So we will split our module into separate Dockers as much as possible, so that we can parallelize each module to work separately, and then we can speed our process of as much as possible. I mean,
if you so the problem
Hi.
Hello, Cal. Thank you for your question, but due to the low connection, can you repeat that one?
actually
Tắt từ máy tính lên. Anh nghĩ ok.
okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so the problem is if you deploy your system into different containers, right? And one user may upload the image, and how do you make sure that the user can upload to the same server, because you deploy into different server, right? Containers. How do you think about that?
So thank you for your question, and we will discuss it and answer in the next few seconds.
Okay, please take your time.
Can you go back to the previous slide? You point to the architecture of the system.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Khi đọc báo này là biết được cảm xúc em. Okay, thank you for your question, and our answer for that is we make sure that when we upload a video or even an images, we know that how many frames there are in a video, and we make sure that when we push a frame to queue in the model, as you can see, the first model is frame cap. We progress it in the first. When we have done with the first frame, and we will push it into the post processing at the above process, and about the bottom one, we will make sure that the first frame will be moved to the post processing to the frame with remove object, and when the post processing receive enough information, including the raw images and the frame with remove object, and we will concatenate to have a complete final frame, and that's the first frame, and we will reply the same mechanism to the last ones, so that we concatenate to complete the final video.
Does it answer your question, Mr. Hu?
Actually, we should skip that question and come back later, because we lost the connection and cannot answer, cannot hear anything from the student. So let's take the time for other to ask another question.
Okay, go ahead.
One question to the team.
Sorry,
So
now I cannot hear you.
I cannot hear from Kevin.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, for now, yes. Yes.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you.
I asking regarding the decision to use rapid MQ, right? So have we how do we deal with the error? How do we with the exception in the pipeline? Because if we use rapid MQ directly, right? I think we may have some issues, and how you handle those kind of exception in the pipeline. When you want to retry, when you want to
Yeah, thank you for your question, and we will discuss with our team.
Okay, and this will be the last question for Team One Vision. And in case you have further questions, so you can put on the chat.
Yeah, I did put the question on the chat. So maybe you can answer later on the
Okay.
chat.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. So due to the limit of time, we cannot avoid all of the errors. So we have tried to minimum the number of the amount of errors as possible. So in the future, we will check the error again, and we will try to overcome them. Yeah. And maybe we can see Miss Summer's question, but due to the limited of time, so we will answer this question later.
Okay, so please follow the questions on the chat. And yeah, that's we just finished the first presentation and the Q&A for Team One Vision. So let's have a big applause again to the team for the very great start of our presentation today. Okay, and now I'd like to share the next presentation. The next presentation will be from another team with 5 members in Ho Chi Minh City under a mentor team. So the name is even more simple, so just vision. And I believe that the common interest of the team members also in computer vision. And the product they will share today is Vision Assistant. Hello, Team Vision. Are you ready? Team Vision is also a very committed team. I believe, like when observing the students through the program, the members of Team Vision is like very hardworking and very dedicated in the weekly assignments, I believe. So today we will see how what they have for the final presentation. So who's gonna start for the Team Vision for now?
Hello everyone, do you hear me well?
Yes. We can hear you.
Hi everyone. My name is Nguyen, and we are Vision Team. We're so glad to be here to introduce an innovative solution to improve the life quality of blind people. Our team with 5 members, with the support of Mr. Team, we developed an AI assistant to help the blind people quickly access the visual information from their surrounding environment. The problem is information in our world is represented in various ways, and I believe that images are the most beautiful way to convey information. But for blind people, they can access the visual information. So our solution comes to overcome the problem. First, the blind people can take a photo and they ask a question, and then the image and the question will be processed by a vision language model, and the answer of the model will be converted into sound, and so that the blind people can hear the answer. Now, please look at our demo. Can you hear the sound of the video?
Recording.
Is there any person sitting here?
Recording done. Yes, there is a person sitting here with a laptop on the table. Recording.
Is there any person sitting here?
Recording done. There is no one sitting on the chair. Recording.
Describe the design style of the architecture.
Recording done. The design style of the architecture is modern and minimalistic. Recording.
What is the main color of the architecture?
Recording done. The main color of the architecture is wood. Recording.
Where are the stairs?
Recording done. The stairs are on the left of the image.
Okay, now let's go deeper in the detail of our solution. And the most important component of our solution is the vision language model. To obtain the best accuracy with current available resource, we selected Mini-GPT-4 model for our project. At a high level overview, the image and the question will be encoded into tokens and then fed into the large language model called Nguyen. And then the answer will be generated by the large language model. We need to convert the speed input of people to text. So we in that after research we decide to use OpenAI Whisper for speech to text. This is because Whisper provide a pre-trained model that can produce a good result in multiple language. However, in our application, the processing time and memory consumption is very important because we try to deploy it in use it in mobile. So we leverage faster Whisper re-implementation version of Whisper that using that you C++ is C++ and Python library for efficient inference with transformer model. As you can see, with faster Whisper, we can achieve 4 times faster in speed, and while only you 2 times memory length. Yeah. For that to speed that, we also investigated some state-of-the-art method in that. Due to the time limit, we prefer to use the method that have retrained model and well supported code. So that we decide to choose FitEdge our text-to-speech service. FitEdge is implemented by CoVTZ, library for text-to-speech that is support very well in both research and production field. Yeah. Now I will to introduce some important part of our application, the user interface, because of our objective is the visually impaired people can use the app. So we try to design the interface simple and keep everything in a bit size that people can talk it easily. As you can see, our application consists of 3 strings: the writing string, the chat string, and the feedback string. In chat string, people can take picture and record their voice to communicate with the assistant. And we also develop a feedback string to people their family member can review our response and feedback that we can give it to improve.
Okay. Now we are going to explain about the system design for the backend. The backend is built following the architecture microservice design pattern. As you can see in the figure, we separate our backend into 5 microservices and 3 databases. The speech-to-text service receives user questions and convert it to text form, and the image and the questions is then fed to the vision language model to get the answer. And finally, the answer will be converted back to the audio to respond to the user. The aggregator service works as an entry point for our system and it receives user requests. It involves all the 3 microservices, aggregate the output and respond to user. Besides, we also implement a feedback service here to receive and boot user feedback to our database. And for the sake of simplicity, we select to implement the synchronous inter-service communication, in which a service called an API is called by another API by another service via the HTTP protocol. About deployment, this diagram illustrates how we deploy our microservice backend to the Amazon Web Service infrastructure. We use 3 EC2 instances for 3 personal services: speech-to-text, text-to-speech, and vision language model. Besides, the aggregator service is deployed using the AWS Fargate, which is a serverless technology. And all of these 4 services are orchestrated by an ECS cluster here. As for the feedback service, we compile an API gateway with AWS Lambda to handle feedback, push feedback to a DynamoDB here. And finally, on the service, are logging to a CloudWatch to monitor their behaviors. And this is all of our deployment solution for the backend to the AWS infrastructure. Okay, so conclusion, in this project, we have done first, we propose a solution to assist visually impaired people. Specifically, we have researched and applied method to problems like speech to text, text to speech, and visual question answering. We also design apply friendly mobile application which is run on Android. And finally, we build and deploy our microservice backend on Amazon Web Service infrastructure. Okay, we also consider some features for the future work. First, we aim to optimize our VQA tasks, particularly emphasize on the vision language model by periodically retrain the model with user feedback. As you can see in the figure, we currently build the inference platform and the feedback and learn platform. And in the near future, we are going to build a model training platform to pre-process user feedback, train model, and push model to production again for later use. And for the client side, we also aim to optimize the user experience since you can see in the demo, the mobile application is still have many quickness now, and we try to optimize the user experience in the future. Okay, that's it on of our presentation for the final project. And we thank you all for hearing us out, and we look forward to any questions and positive recommendation. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Team Eugene, for a great presentation. And now it's 10 minutes for the Q&A. So the judges, please raise your voice for any question or feedback or comments.
Okay, can you go back to the architecture slide? So firstly, thank you. I think it's a very good presentation in terms of the architecture. The first time I heard about some like intern talking about aggregator pattern. So why you choose the aggregator pattern, and what is the pros and cons?
Could you hear me well? Yeah, we decided to choose the we decided to choose the aggregator design pattern because of its simplicity. It's a we think that it's a intuitive, easy to implement and easy to maintain. Every microservice only communicate with the aggregator. So if we want to add another service, we just add it and communicate with the aggregator again. And about the cons, this design pattern may add latency to the overall in processing time, but we believe that it will be easy for us, for developers that have less knowledge in deployment, to maintain and upgrade the system in the future. So that we decide to conclude, we decide aggregator design pattern because of its simplicity.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So in the presentation, you mentioned that you use the synchronous mechanism for communication, right? But
yeah.
The problem is if the traffic is high, then it will create a bottleneck, where impress for your infrastructure. So how do you think about that, and how we solve about that?
The synchronous.
Not for for the infrastructure. If we have a high number of users, and then we use a synchronous mechanism, right? And this process the audio and also the image. So the workload and the network is quite high. So how do you handle that?
First, I will talk about the vertical scaling. I think that we can convert we can transform from the synchronous communication to this asynchronous communication by adding a message queue to communicate between microservices. And about the horizontal scale, if our budget is enough, we can adding the number of instance to run our system, and we can deploy a load balance to manage traffic to multiple servers.
I see in your implementation you choose base 64, right? So why you choose base 64? Because it increased the traffic a lot.
Yeah, base 64 require our system to encode and decode the data, so maybe it will add a lot of latency, but because of time constraint, we must choose quick solution that is familiar with us and easy to deploy. So it can consider as a quickness of our team project.
I think one more question from my end. Sorry, too many. It's about like you deploy the, for example, speed to text service, right, into one EC2. So then how can you scale in case you want like more like EC2 servers to serve for the speech?
More EC2 instance. If we want to increase the number of EC2 instance, because we are deployed in ECS cluster, we can define more tasks for the speed to text service here, and we can add more instance to handle the second task.
So sorry, my last question is, so can you list out some use case that we can apply your system to the real world problem? Engineer just asking about the product that what the use case that you think, that your team think that this system can be applied for?
Are you on mute? We cannot hear anything.
I think the question from whom is, can you list out some use cases for this system?
The real world.
The real use case.
Initially, we brainstorm this project. Firstly, we want to make some non-profit project idea that can apply for how to say, visually impaired people, because they can nói sao nhỉ? Đây là use case của anh nói đi.
Yeah, I think the application is only one use case. We aim to build a visual assistant in the chatbot form that the visually impaired people can use it to, for example, they in their home they can take a picture and ask some question about what in the picture that can help them.
Okay, I see. May I have a question? So in the demo, thank you very much for a very interesting demo. I see that there a case that the pictures show that they're gonna be a ladder. Actually, there's two ladders, one go up and one go down, one from the left and one from the side, the right side. So I just wonder, like, because it seems like your app is just can rely the one from the left. So in case if the user want to go down, then actually it's on the right. So it's just like come up about two questions. So what's first is that what if in the picture there gonna be more, like diverse feature in there, and it's hard to detect and answer directly the question of the user asking about. Is there any way to deal with that situation? And the second is that in the case that your chatbot cannot provide the right answer to the user question, how it gonna deal with that situation? I just wonder, like, in the way that you try to apply your demo, is there any situations that like that you encounter, and how your bot or your team deal with that?
About the first question about the stairs, our model can recognize the upstairs only, right? So it depends on it because it also depends on the prompt, the question that client asks. If client asks the where are the stairs to go up, it will point to the left stairs. But if we ask for the right stair, it will answer the stair and the right. I believe that. But in the question, we only ask where are the stairs, so it point out the left stair only. And for your second question about the wrong answer, yes, that it can be considered as a bottleneck of our model, because our VQA model, only our vision language model, is currently trained on a very clear data set with clear image. But in production, client cannot capture that image, and the question is also valued too. So we implement a feedback function to receive user feedback, to retrain model to optimize user experience based on the real life scenarios and the user generated questions to improve, to apply, to fit the model into real life.
Yes. And the problem is that because the user here already have the impair of the virtual. So to be honest, I'm not sure how they can provide the feedback for the model. They cannot see, right?
Actually,
yes. And also, like, as the first question you answer is very depend on the question of the user. And indeed, when the question is very general, like where are the stairs, it just like point out one side. So we can somehow consider it's also not the 100% accurate question, right? So I think, yeah, so I just wonder, like, do you have any idea to tackle those issues?
About your first questions, actually, we also wonder a lot about the feedback function because before we implementing this feature, but we believe that beside the visually impaired user, our application also has some normal user, for example, upstream family member of the client who want to improve the app accuracy for their parents. Or even there are some volunteers, there are a group of volunteers who want to contribute to this non-profit app. And we believe that this feedback is necessary. Yes, because I stated before, the model is trained only on the beautiful, the clear data set, but in production, it will need to fine-tune on real life data set. So feedback is necessary in our case. And for your issue that you point out, it is also the issue that we come up against, and we think that we need more time to consider it, to solve it in the future. We cannot answer we cannot give the right answer right now, since we don't have enough time for building on them. Yeah,
I know. So I think this is also interesting, like the normal problem with the Q&A I mean, like the chatbot application, because we're gonna encounter several questions that's more general from the end user. And the question is that in those situation, how the is there any way that the chatbot can even bring back, I mean, like ask the question to clarify the inquiry of the user? It can be, you know, one of the way to solve the problem. So it's just like an open idea for you to thinking about that, because we already also received some real requirement from the client, question about like how you can make the chatbot to make the question clarify back the question from the end user, from the customer. Okay, thank you for your answer. Interesting.
Thank you for all the comments and
Yeah, thank you for your questions and
yeah. Thank you, the judge again. And it seems like a team vision has a very interesting product that I think you have the initial success that attract the attention of a lot of the church and the other teams too. So you can gradually answer the question on the chat for now. And now we go to the next team. The next team will also be another team, including 5 members in Ho Chi Minh. And this team is special because they have the mentoring from 2 mentors, Bart and Jackie from Cinnamon AI. And the team named Fantastic 5, and we'll share with you the final presentation about translation layout recovery. Hello, Fantastic 5, are you ready now? So I think in Ho Chi Minh City office, we are arranging the technical setup. And just a note to our judge, please ensure your real-time scoring on your evaluation sheet. So after all the presentation of the teams, we will have 20 minutes for discussion and finalization. But we need to put it in real time so that we will not miss any parts of the team.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry. Hi everyone, our team is Fantastic 5, and today we will present about our project, translation layout recovery with an art name Fantasy. Our mentors are Bart and Zaki, and we have 5 members with name in the slide. And today we will introduce about our project, present about the method, back-end design, front-end design, show you a demo about our product, and some small conclusion. First, I will introduce you about the project. Here's a hilarious mistranslation, and as you can see on the board, it means to respect your teachers and love your friends. But due to the mistranslation, the label so teacher glasses like you, which is very weird. Moreover, in the world, there are many languages. So there exists the need for good translation tool, but does that enough? There are many developed tools in translation, such as Google Translation, and I have a bottle with many information, and I try Google Lens in Google Translation. And after that, here's the results I received, which is very messy due to the broken in layout. That's why we need and moreover, we also try with online doc translator, and this to translate on the file of a paper, and the code is very weight. That's why we need a product which is focused on an academic paper, and due to the time constraint, in this project, we only focus on translate from English to Vietnamese and Japanese, and also keep the layout for PDF files. Instead, we will translate original file in English to Japanese and Vietnamese file by keeping its layout, and we will focus on academic papers. And our method is to develop an app that allow users to send PDF file and via the front end, and front end will send a request and respond from back end, so the user can receive the translated files. And now we will present about the core artificial intelligence purpose.
Hi guys. In the next part, I will present about the technology that my team used in the final project. The first one is the OCR model. Currently, there are many models can solve the OCR perfectly. So to choose the best performance model, my team want to evaluate it on a specific data. But recently, public dataset have contained various format, but my team went to another format. It's in the right session, and so we need to collect a new dataset with 100 data sample to evaluate this model. After collecting the data, we have a distribution of the work in each file, and so information about the data, it total over 7,000 words, and it is manually labeled and cross-checked about our team. After have a data set, we evaluate it on 3 models, the Battle OCR, Easy OCR, and Tesseract. From the table, we can see that the Tesseract has the smallest error rate, but it is very slow. It is not suitable for deploy on the production, and the Easy OCR, it have balance between the error rate and the time inference. So my team want to choose it for the final project. To talk more about the Easy OCR, it's the open source library. It can work with multiple languages, and the retrain is more accurate and high efficient. So my team don't need to fine tune it. Here is the file line for the Easy OCR. We can focus on 2 things on the figures. The first one is the text detection. It's using a RAP model. It's the fast model and one of the SOTA model for the text detection. The second one is use RCNN model. Here for detail, it's using RedNet for the backbone, then fit to the LSTM and UCTC loss. Thanks to compile the black white model. So Easy OCR is very efficient about the performance. In the next part, Thomas will present about the machine translation model.
Yes, okay. So now we'll move to the neural machine translation parts in our system. So we choose the NVIT5 model from VietAI because it is the state-of-the-art model in English and Vietnamese translation. And we also choose the Opus MT and Japanese from a Helsinki NLP lab in the Japanese. And it is also the state-of-the-art English and Japanese translation, which achieves a low character error F level score. Okay, so here are the experiments that we reproduce them to again verify the result of the open source the open source English and Vietnamese translation model, also the open source English and Japanese translation model. Okay, so here are the results. So that is the reason why we choose them. Okay, so we also noticed that the result of the NVIT5 translation in Vietnamese is not very good when we apply to translate the content of the papers. So that's why we try to retrieve some more data from the English VnExpress.net. It is a very famous newspaper in Vietnam. So we collect the data and we try to fine-tune it first by the auto prompt for the encoder, and also in step 2 we fine-tune the whole model using low-rank adaptation. And here are the results. As you can see, it is improved compared to the latest NVIT5 translation. Yeah, so this is the model that we choose. Okay, and here are some results that after we fine-tune it, we use it, and we can see the improvement in the translation. Yeah. Okay, so to conclude about the AI core, so first we will put a PDF file. We choose the target language, Vietnamese or Japanese. It will go through the layout detection model to retrieve the whole structure, and it will just pick the text part to OCR, and it will preserve the title, the image, and the table. Yeah, so it will go through this model to get the text, and it will try to construct them into the structure of the original file, and we will get the result translated PDF file. Okay, so I think that's all of the AI core. So now we'll move to the backend design.
Hi everyone. I will talk briefly about the backend design of our web applications. We use Supabase to store our PostgreSQL database management system, and for storing we use Firebase Cloud Storage to store the user avatar files and the PDF files. For the backend server, we use 100% Django REST framework to implement APIs to meet the front-end needs. And as you can see on the slide, this is our database diagram, which demonstrates how we organize, store, and implement our database management system. And the next part is front-end design will be represented by Claudia.
So before we started coding our front-end, we designed our use cases and a wireframe on Figma, which is also another app which is commonly used for designing apps and websites. So this is what our original design was for our front-end. Next slide, please. So for our front end, we have designed our use case, including a front page, including where we have our translation, including where we post our files to post, and we get and delete our authentic state, including history and profile for the user to read and update our information, and log in and register to create our account Next slide, please. For the technology, we use Next.js, which is a front-end framework which uses React as a UI framework, and Nguyen CSS, which is a minimal version of traditional CSS to speed up production, and also Yarn instead of npm to manage our packages in Node.js. All right, next slide, please. And so this is our product demo. Next slide, please.
Okay, so now I will show you the demo. Yeah.
First, let's click sign in, and sign in. If you don't have an account, click register and fill in the needed information. After that, submit. And when you have your account, you can go to the profile to edit your information and save. Click home page and add the needed file. After that, you can choose your favorite language, Vietnamese or Japanese, and click translate. And then our system will translating your files. When you see the word translated, click in. And you click history, get on files, you can see your file, and click other file. You will see your translated file with here.
Hi, about deployment. We are using Docker Compose to containerize our application, which has two main services, the backend service and the front-end service. The detail of these services, we discussed about that before, and we can try fantasy on the link below of the slide. And to summarize our final project, we have successfully deployed the app, an end-to-end system to the website, and the app have user authentication, and it is user-centered application, lightweight, free, and portable. This is our references while doing the final project. And that's all about our final project. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Fantastic Spy, for the great presentation. And I believe now there's a lot of questions and comments and feedbacks from the judge. So the judge, please unmute and share your comment. Firstly, I see one question from someone on the chat. One Peter.
Okay. Presentation, the user guide. Okay, I think that's very good.
Yes.
I have some question. You mentioned that you train your model, right? Fine-tune the model. So I don't see the code and how you train, how you prepare the data set, and how you train the model.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
So when we fine-tune the model, I did the fine-tune phase before this project. So I just use the weights of it, and because we haven't deployed it onto the Hugging Face hub, so that's why in the code we just mentioned the NVT file translation, the original NVT file translation. But when we deploy it onto the website, as you can use it on the ngrok, we use the new fine-tune model. Yeah.
But you have a code, right? But you don't upload the final model to the Hugging Face, but you you write a code to prepare the data, to feed the data set, to train in your Python, for example, to train the model, right? So when I just want to see the code because that is very plus point for your presentation. So just want to make sure that you have done that correctly.
I think that I can send the code after this presentation if it is possible because we put the code on the server of the Cinnamon.
Post the code to the source control, so don't need to send directly to me.
Okay.
So have another question. That's in your implementation, you use the local disk to store the file. So how can you scale the service if you use local disk?
Sorry, we are not using the local disk. We use the file-based cloud storage to store the files that we execute in the process.
Okay. Yeah, I reviewed the outdated version. Let me check it again. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, and any other question from Jack or Summer?
Yeah, okay. One question for me. First, thanks for sharing. I think the target market is quite clear, right? Just one question, like, because I think currently the feature you serve is not very complicated, which means like if there is some competitor they want to jump into a same market, it's quite easy. So have you ever imagined like how can you improve your product through the time and what kind of feature can be added on your product to make it more attractive and to make the kind of the technical barrier higher than the product you design now?
Okay, so I think I can get your question. So you mentioned about the competitive advantage of us, right?
Yes.
So I think that I can show it here. Okay, so here. First we want to mention that most of the online tools that we have tried it require to pay a fee first, and the second is that it doesn't have any user authentication. It means that it is not user centered. It's just a public tool, and you upload your file and it will translate and it will return the file, and it just the files are just saved in 1 or 2 hours on the database, and it is then removed. So in our system, first we use the user authentication. It means that we target on the user, and the user can sign into the system, and if they translate any file, the file is very private and it is not shared to anyone first. And then if the user upload the file onto the system, it is saved on the system to the end of the server. It means that it is just say on the server, and the user can sign in and re-access to the file anytime they want. So it is different from the public tool, which is just save 1 or 2 hours in the database.
How about from AI feature perspective?
About the AI feature perspective. So about the AI feature perspective, we think that most of the models we use here are state of the art. And if the competitors they want to join in, I guess they must build something bigger. For example, they must build a bigger system to store a larger file, or they have to build a model which can process much faster. So I think about the accuracy, we achieve a quite good accuracy compared to other works up to now.
Yeah, talking about accuracy, that's why I asked the question regarding to the tabular data. So I just wonder, like, can you do you have any demo regarding to the table stuff? Because normally when we do the translations, the one who cannot keep the format and gonna be messy the most gonna be table one. So I just wonder, like, in your tool, in your app, can it solve that problem?
Okay, so I guess a member of us can share you the result. Okay, so here is the I have to re-mention that we at the first stage we just focus on translate the PDF of the papers. So here, as you can see in the table, we try not to detect or OCR or recognize the text in the table. We try to preserve the original text of the table, because as we can see in most of the paper, table is where the author put their works and the number. And if we try to translate the content of the table, it will destroy the layout of the table. So that's why we want to preserve the content of the table first, and the title, for example, here. And as you can see, in some parts of the papers, we have some image, and we have some text on the image too. So we try not to recognize or detect any text in the image. We just focus on the paragraph part of the paper. So I think that is the advantage of us compared to other works, because they try to OCR all of the information in the paper. Yeah. So, and one noticeable point of the table is that here, when you put the information into the table, you have to put it in a short sentence or short word, because the table is just the shortcut to the information. Yeah, so you will not put much and many information in the table. So I guess that most of the people, when they read the table, they can understand if it is in the original style of the table, not the translated one. Here, as you can see, the algorithm here, if we translate it, it will destroy the structure of the algorithm. Yeah.
I see. So that means that's you're gonna preserve the table, right? Keep it as an image.
Yes.
No OCR and no translation. Yeah, actually in the application we have to keep the image of the table. The problem here is that when it's applied to the document in reality, in many cases, that's we really need to have the table translation.
Yes.
And if it's considered as a technical advantage, I don't think that it's gonna add much point for that, because the real need here is that still people want to refer about the content of the table. That is the problem. Yeah.
Yes. I really appreciate your comments. Yeah, I think in the next day, if we want to improve this system, we will try to focus on how to translate the table and also preserve a very good structure of the table. Yeah, I think it is also a very hot part at translating the table. Yeah, so we will try to address it in the next stage if we have the chance to do it.
Thank you for your answer.
Yes, thank you.
So cool. So we just finished the third presentation and the Q&A of the third team. And in case that you have any further comments or questions, so please put on the chat so the team can follow up with your questions. Okay. And now we go to the next team. This team is special because starting the program, they comes from different place, different time zone. And I believe that's also their big challenge. So we have 4 students in Team AI Venture. They are from USA, from Italy and Russia and Hanoi. So all the 4 time zones together to make the final presentation about the paper management under the mentoring of Jason. So let's welcome the presentation of AI Venture.
So good afternoon, everyone. We are AI Venture, and we are here to bring you an AI assistant in research work. Let's begin with our team introduction. Mr. Jason is our mentor, and we have 4 members, as you can see here. This is the table of content, and first we will start with the introduction. Now imagine that you are an engineer or researcher that you have to read a bunch of paper a day. Therefore, we need a tool that can help us to manage and speed up our research process. And that's the reason why we came up with an idea called paper management. With our app, you can experience personalized interaction as our platform tailor content to your interests with a smart search and recommendation. We are accelerating the research process. How about the integrated chatbot? It's an assistant that can help you answer the question related to your paper. We will take a look at the product feature now. First, you need to log in or register if you haven't done that. And after that, you will input some of your interesting topic, for example, computer vision, and this will be used for the recommendation part later. We have prepared a demo video here. This is our homepage, and in the right part, this is the recommendation paper that is suggested for use based on your interesting topic that you have input before. And the left hand is the search engine. You can start input your search keyword, and it will show you some paper. You can start chatting with the paper when clicking the chat paper button. First, it will show you the summary of the paper. And after that, you can freely chatting with the paper about the content of the paper. Moving to the technical architecture of the product. First, in the register and login, we have integrated a user authentication system that encompasses both the front end by React and back end by Django. This authentication system will allow users to register, log in, and log out. For the search engine, users can input their desired search keyword. This keyword will serve as a bridge connecting your React frontend and the Django. Then Django will utilize the keyword to trigger a request for the data from ASIC. This is a rich repository for research paper, and this will connect to an API. And when Django receives the data, it will sort and relay back to our front end, which cascades them to the user in an organized manner. For the recommendation part, upon landing on the homepage of the application, a request is dispatched to the backend, and this request will hold the key to the user preference, and Django will consult the database where the user domain of interest are stored. In the next step, Django will do the same thing as the search engine when it sends a request to the archive and receives the data back, and which is sorted by the release date. And this information will be packaged and sent back to the front end. And this recommendation system will ensure that each user have a tailored selection of research paper that perfectly match their curiosity. Now, you will help me to introduce about the chat with paper feature. Dũng, are you there?
Sorry, I forgot to turn on my mic. I'm sorry. Chart with paper is the main features of our application, and we are here. You can see here we have a diagram of a chart paper of a build knowledge base. In the very first step, the desired paper will be booked through an extract text to this here is a PyPD2, PyPDF2. After collecting all the text information in the paper, we split up into the chunks. With the chunk size here is like 5,000 characters. Of course, the computers cannot understand the text, and we have to again we put all the chunks through the embedding algorithm. Here's a sentence, a transformer embedding model from Hugging Face. The pre-processing doesn't stop there. We use FAISS to transform all the chunks vector into the vector database or knowledge base here. Okay, let's move to the user flows. In the user flows, like each chunk of text, we use the sentence transformer embedding model to embed all the users' question. To answer the question, we use a semantic search. It's like the causing similarity to compare the question vector with each chunk vector in the database. And then we sort in the decreasing order. We sort the score in the decreasing order. After that, we get the top two, which are the most related to the question. We use the large language model. Here is Azure Chat GPT or Azure Chat OpenAI to summarize the answer and show it to the user on the screen. About the backend. The backend here, in the very first step, we agree that we don't want just to build the pet project. We want to bring the real product in a real world. Therefore, we took the advantages of tools provided by Cinnamon. Here's AWS services. As you can see in the diagram, the application runs in an environment which is built in the Docker image. We build and push the Docker image to Elastic Container Registry. After that, we create a Docker container on Elastic Container Service, connect to the database from AWS, and run our application on that. And the next slide, please. To make it professional, we did not just do those things manually. Instead, I wrote the Circle CI config file and built the CI/CD pipeline as you see result here to can manage our code, and the code base easier. Okay, next one, please. The conclusion. To sum up, our project is a platform to interactive information retrieval, research, recommend, and chart. Incorporating AI-driven insight for efficient research, and the last exploration. And the last one is striving for innovation, growth, and enriching the user experience for the future. Okay, let's talk about the future of the paper. What we can do with the paper in the future? The next, please. The future of paper, we are due to lack of time, our project is not 100% finished. Consequently, we still have to update some feature in the near future. First of all, we will the chat with paper will store all the history and appear pipe when the user set to the conversation of each paper. Furthermore, sometimes to fully understand the paper, you need to research also the reference paper as well. And this is the reason why we implement the how-to paper survey soon. We do not just stop at the scientific documentation. We want to diversify our topics such as laws or administrative procedures and etc. Currently, you can only prompt with text, and querying with image or voice is also our goal. To avoid setting the max, next slide, please. To avoid setting mass token of too long chart history, but still keep the relevant answer, we aim to use the reformat query model to modify the current query and cut non-relevant history to save the token. And of course, we save result. This means we save money. Last but not least, we are Vietnamese, and we want to serve our amazing product to or Vietnamese people by fine-tune LLM and sentence embedding models on Vietnamese dataset. And I think after that, all the Vietnamese can accept our product. And yeah, that is all. Thank you for listening. Is our presentation. And if you cannot catch up the slide or something, you can ask us in the Q&A section.
Okay, thank you, Dũng, and thank you for the presentation of Team AI Venture. And now again, we have the questions from the judge and also the comments. So we may not hear about Mr. Tân from the beginning of the session. So I would like to hear from Mr. Tân. Yeah, do you have any question for the event team? Hello. Sorry, I cannot hear you.
Okay. I have one question regarding the search engine. So you are using the data source from sorry, I don't remember the name, but how do you get the data from this resource? It seems like it's from the community sources, right? And
actually, Python provide the ASIF resource, so we need to call the library ASIF, and it will provide us the database of the research paper available on the ASIF website.
Oh, okay. So which means you got the whole database?
Yes.
API and
I cannot hear your question. Can you ask again?
Okay, sorry. I mean, like you can get the whole database, or you let's call API in the diagrams. I only see it called API, right?
Yes. Like, wait. Can you ask again?
Sorry. I mean, like you have your own database. You download the own database, or you like search via the API.
The RCF provides the API, so we just call the API to get the papers from there.
Okay, so is there any limitation for calling the API?
I think we don't have any limitation because for the very first step of the project, we try to write the crawling tools to crawl all the papers from the ASIF, but we found that it's not too efficient because you need times to access to the website and crawl all the papers. Like I use a Selenium, and if you request too much to crawl the papers, and the website will detect you as a bot, and it will protect you from the website, and you cannot crawl anymore. And we choose using the ASIF API, and with API we can get all the papers without any limitation. I think so.
Okay, so it's free, right?
Yes, free.
Interesting. So the second question is like in the chat you mentioned that you choose the cosine similarities. Could you explain the reason behind the scenes why you choose the cosine similarities? Because I know that there are several ways to that we can apply, right? But why you choose cosine?
I say here is I say it's a semantic search. It's like cosine similarity is like an example of where you compare the vector and the knowledge base. It's not the we didn't use cosine similarity. We used the semantic search, and we like use the cosine similarity. It's just an example of how you compare the vector search and the vector in the database.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear
Okay,
you
okay,
now.
thanks. So I have a question also for this page. So the vector in the knowledge base here is to represent for one paper or one PDF or just a session in a paper.
You mean the embedding vector?
Vector here, yeah, it's embedded from what?
In the first we try to split we get the alt text from the PDF file, and then we split up all that text into the chunks, which chunk size like the 5,000 characters, and we embed each chunks into the vectors, which mean like the embedding vectors here is the embedding of chunk text with a 5,000 character size.
I see. So it's a fixed size chunk embedding, right?
Yeah.
And what could be the potential problem, like follow the design here, where you just retrieve top 2, right?
I'm sorry?
I mean, like you mentioned, you just retrieve top 2, right? Top 2.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, what could be the potential issue here? Can you imagine? And why 2? Is it because some empirical experience, or?
I think it's like the k-means clustering, or maybe k algorithms. It depends on how you choose case. Maybe it's best in this scenario. Maybe it's good in scenarios, and it's like I think it's hard to validate is good or bad. But true here, I think, because we think that 5,000 character is enough, so that's the reason why we choose 2. Not too much, not too little.
I see. And there could be even better solution. As you mentioned, like, yeah, the cluster, like either top 2, top 3, like top K, how the K could be a hyperparameter can vary through different question or document, right? So there could be some even better solution follow the pipeline here. Yeah.
I think we can improve how we choose case in the future. Like for example, for the top 2, we can choose K more flexible. Like for example, the score in the top 2 is like 0.5, and the top 3 is 0.54, and the gap is not too big, and we choose the top 3. But in the top 2 is like the 0.5, and the top 3 is 0.3, and the gap I think is too big, and that's and we just choose the top 2. That's how we save the result, and how we choose K more flexible.
I see. By the way, when you do the chunking, do you overlap each chunk?
Yeah, we have overlap chunk. Which chunk with overlap chunk size 500.
500. So like 5,000 and less 500 will overlap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's all from me. Thanks.
Any question?
Any other questions? So, yeah, I think we can move to the final presentation of the next team. And thank you, Avenger, for a great presentation.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and now is the final team products. We have Hanoi team, and under the mentoring of so they come to the office every day. Even they go eating with and drinking with the members in Hanoi office, and even like they do board game with Hanoi members. So they are very engaging, and I'm so excited to see your presentation today. Are you ready, Hanoi team?
Yes, we are ready. Thank you, Queen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you have been enjoying all the presentations so far. And as the last team of today, we'd like to thank you, all the judges and audience who are here with us today. And to not waste more of your time, I will start on our presentation. My name is An, and I come from Hanoi team under the guidance of mentor Ian. Our team has 4 members, including Hoàng, Khánh, Tâm, and me. And today we are presenting a product called Beautify, Vietnamese Critics Restoration. Here's a brief overview of our presentation today. So we will go through each section and present our demo at the end. So first, let's start with a little bit of the background. The Vietnamese language is often known for its distinctive tone of nature, characterized by the use of diacritics, or we often call it tones or accent marks. That's very important in conveying meaning and pronunciation accuracy, and these diacritics can modify the tones of basic letters. For example, the letter A have more than 10 different diacritical characters, as you can see on the left-hand side table. And a word like DUA can have like a bunch of meanings like racing, joking, melon, or coconut. So you may see that diacritics are very critical for comprehensibility, but they are frequently omitted in digital communication. And this comes from a wide range of reasons, but mainly from technical limitations. So many keyboards will have errors with typing Vietnamese, and also many people, especially people from older generations, might find it hard to type in Vietnamese. So in the left-hand side is an example of an omission of diacritics that will lead to ambiguities and misinterpretations during text conversation. So we will have some groups of target audience for our tool. The first one includes texting apps. So we want to introduce a product that can automatically complete diacritics for the whole sentence that make it easier for users to type. The second group will be language learning apps. So from my personal experience as tutoring, a lot of Vietnamese language learners struggle with adding diacritics. So we want to provide a tool for reference. And lastly, we can also use this as a pre-processing step in OCR models to improve accuracy. So the solution we are proposing will be called Beautify, a Vietnamese diacritics restoration tool to restore missing diacritics in Vietnamese text, enhancing linguistic accuracy, readability, and preserving the fidelity of the Vietnamese language. So I also like to make a remark before continuing that our team and mentor Ian have agreed on a goal to learn as much as we can. So in this project, we generate our own raw truth dataset, implement all the models, and train them from scratch. Okay, now we move on to the implementation of our project. So first start with dataset. We extract, download it from Wikipedia and extract using Wiki Extractor package. And then after extracting only text from the data, we will use some pre-processing steps, including splitting the text into sentences and only retaining those with more than 10 words. We also remove special characters, convert to lowercase, and strip all diacritics. The right-hand side is an example of this. So this is the original text, and after pre-processing, there will be 2 separate sentences with no punctuations and all lowercase. And after that, we will process by splitting the data set of a total of more than 4.3 million into training, validation, and test data sets. And next up is the methodology of our project. So first on, we will from an input text, we will pre-process by removing punctuations, convert it to lowercase, and then insert into the model. So after the model output, a result, we will then go through a post-processing step to get the output by adding back punctuations and uppercase letters. For the models, we will have 2 different approaches. The first one will be using language model with beam search. We will predict appropriate diacritics for each word, word by word in the understood sentence. And then the beam search will explore all possible combinations and select the best fit one. The second approach will be treating it as a machine translation, with the source language being the unaccented sentence and the target language being the fully accented Vietnamese sentences. And we will use encoder-decoder architecture using the transformer model. So first starting for first approach is language model. We'll build an n-gram model and feed into our own data set. But with current constraints on time and hardware, we only train on 2 gram and 3 gram versions. And next, in the next step, we'll use mapping dictionary. By each step, we'll generate all possible diacritical versions of the words, calculate its probability based on the previous n-1 words, and choose one with the highest probability. And finally, we'll use beam search to identify sentence with the highest probability. Here's an example. For the start of the sentence, which is denoted as S, we have 3 different diacritical versions of I'm, and we'll choose the one with the highest. As you can see, is the 0.6, and we'll choose I'm. And then the next word, this word is not in our data set, so we will just add it to the sentence and move on to the next word. So the next word will have 4 versions, and we will once again choose the highest probability ones. And we keep moving on like that, and we have the whole sentence. Anh Robert trông đẹp trai, which means like dear Robert looks very handsome. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next approach.
Okay, thank you, Anne. As you may know, Transformer has achieved a remarkable result in various tasks, especially in machine translation, where it has got state-of-the-art performance. So that in this project, in the spirit of learning, we want to implement and train the model from scratch. First, we use the LNTK tokenizer for English to tokenize the input instead of Vietnamese tokenizer, because our input is a Norton sentence, not exactly a Vietnamese sentence anymore. Also, that the vocab that we use is taken from the author Lương Thị Hiếu. He built a pretty complete Vietnamese syllable system, and also that we use the default config model based on the paper attention is so unique. And in the training loop, instead of loading a batch of 64 padded sentence, we try to load 6,000 tokens a batch to utilize the GPU. And the training process span over a single day and converts after 25 epochs. And that is all about the motivation and our approach. So let's come to the results. To assess the approaches, we employ an accuracy metric, as you can see on the screen, is the number of correctly predicted words over total number of words. You can see that when considering n-gram models, a greater value of n-gram leads to an increased accuracy level. But you can see that the computational pre-processing time reveal a limitation in practical production of this approach. And the transformer model outcome justify our objective with the accuracy of more than 97%. It effectively process a sentence in just about 1 second on average. And that is all our results. And we see that we have a lot of room to improve. But let's see that what we have achieved on this project. First, that we not only implement and train the n-gram transformer model from scratch, but the INN, LSTM, and BioSTM as well. And we do not rely on any existing tool, which provide us a deeply comprehension of the model and the task. And also that the transformer and the n-gram model exhibit satisfactory the level of accuracy when it comes to the challenging Vietnamese language, even when a fully accent Vietnamese sentence can make a reader confusing. But however, we have some limitation, such as when the prediction time of the N-gram model is quite slow. But I think that we can solve it by applying a CAN-LM, a language model toolkit built on the C++. And also that the implement and training the transformer model demands a lot of time and effort. We have a lot of bugs to fix, and this may get tired at first. I think that afterwards, in the future, we can solve it by utilize the pre-chain tokenizer or any platform like Hugging Face. In the future, we want to collect more data from various resources to make the data set more general. And for the N-gram, we apply the CAN-LM, as I said before. And we may want to try and implement and train other version of transformer model like BERT or FORBERT. So that is the end about presentation. Now I want to give you a little bit demo about our application. So if you want to try the demo with me, you can scan the QR code on the screen, or you can just wait me for me to share the slide of screen of demo. Okay, so if you do not have time to scan the QR code, you can see the URL that I have posted on the chat. So here is the UI of the demo. This is the homepage. You can open it and you can find available resources at the our report and the GitHub. Okay, so let's move on to the main app. When I click to the Verify, you will have you can choose the model like transformer or N-gram. With the N-gram, you can choose the version of N-gram like 2 or 3, and you can also insert your beam search size from 1 to 15. Let me try some text. Let's wait a bit. Okay, I just copy this text. You can see. Okay, let's try a short breaks at first. Okay, let me see. Okay, my input is Verify rất hữu ích cho mọi người, but with the unaccent version, and the output is the accent version of the sentence. Let me choose another. You can see the compilation time is quite long because I think that many people are using our demo right now, so the GPU is kind of. Okay, so let me try another longer sentence. Okay, I just try a sentence. You can see that the output is quite is good. Do đó, Cinnamon có mong muốn thành lập một nghiên cứu trung tâm nghiên cứu tại Việt Nam, hình thành một bước đệm cần thiết trong sự nghiệp nghiên cứu cho các bạn sinh viên và thực nghiệp. You can try the N-grams. You can choose the N-gram and beam search. Let me try. Oh, it's the model print the ta mean ta. That's the mistake of the model. Okay, I think that is the end of our presentation. If you want to find anything about our project, you can come to this demo. You can find available resources with the report and the.
And here we also want to present a little bit of our report. So here we have a report on our research paper, and we have further details on our implementation of our models and a little bit more. I'm sorry. So here's our paper, and we will have a little more on our motivation as well as how we implement the models. And we also, if you want to see it further about the models, you can look at this paper. Okay, so this is the end of our presentation. I would like to thank you again to all of the organizers of Cinnamon AI Bootcamp this year. And thank you everyone for joining with us today.
Thank you, Team Hanoi. And that's the final presentation today. Yeah, but we still want to hear some comments and feedback for our.
Okay, so maybe I go first.
Yeah.
I'm curious about in the UI, right? So we have to choose between the Ngram and transformer. So is there any way that we can remove that one and you guys can pick it for the user, because maybe the user is not very technical, right? And maybe they are not easy to understand what is the difference between Ngram and transformer. Is there any comments about that?
Yeah, we can remove it for the usage of the user. But on this demo, we want to show everything that we have trained, the two models that we have trained, and get a quite good accuracy. So that is the reason why we put we have the option of choosing the model.
Can you describe a little bit the detail about the pros and cons of each model and what use case that the model will perform better than another? Can you list out some situation that a model can perform better than another?
Okay, thank you for the question. So I would also like to return to the last question. So we can also have a guide on where the user should choose which model, and we'll set the default model as transformer because it's faster. And as for the use case of our tool, so for example, for texting apps, we can choose like the texting app will let us choose the diacritics for each word, but here we want users can write the whole sentence, and we will automatically add the diacritics to it later, so it will be faster and like more convenient for users. And as well as pros and cons, can we answer it?
I think that in our model training version, they have both pros and cons. As I might say that with the Ngram model, if we want the model to be faster, to be more accurate, you can add more data, and also you need to implement the model and in the C++, so it can utilize the processing time. But the Ngram model may only get the acceptable accuracy, not the best accuracy. If you want to get the best accuracy, I suggest that we should use the transform model, or maybe the BERT model, or for BERT, if you want to fine tune. And I think that we need to have a lot of data. Our data is only about 1 gigabyte. I think that to get a better result and better generalization, I think the data must be like 20 gigabyte, like on Furberg, they train on the dataset like that. Yeah. So in my to sum up, I think that
oh, sorry. There's just one more thing. You mentioned like in your presentation that you have some sort of training loop, right? So currently, do you guys actually have some sort of training loop, or it just like you train and you monitor the result manually, or do you have some sort of like automatic mechanism to make it work?
For the training loop, we try to, as I said before, that we try to implement anything from scratch. So the training loop we try to implement, and we monitoring it by the TensorBoard or and the one weight and bias platform. So so I think that in the spirit of learning, so everyone in the team can learn about the implementation from the scratch. That is our point of this project.
Okay, thank you.
Any further comments or question from Summer or Jeff or Dr. Tân?
Can I do one question from me? So just want to ask, like, what is the biggest difficulty when you fine-tune the transformer architecture? So do you face any difficulty, or like the training loads just converge very smooth without any problem? Like, can you share a bit more about your experience? Because since I think you are the only team who tried to fine-tune the model from scratch. So is there any valuable experience you can share with other like student here?
Yeah, I have some experience that I want to share. The first thing that when I implement every component of the transformer, that I have to make sure that every shape of that layer should match with the input of other layer. That is the first thing. And the other thing that when I first investigate the vocabulary for the to tokenize the sentence and no-tone sentence, is really hard for me to find a truly syllable, Vietnamese syllable. So I have a lot of time to try and to search on the vocabulary that I want to use to tokenize the sentence. I think that is too, and another point that the training time from scratch is very long. It takes a lot of time to me to testing and to yeah. I think that is all 3.3 experience that I want to share.
And do you use any like monitoring tool to check the converging loads?
I use TensorFlow at first. Yeah, TensorBoard, and then I tried weight and bias.
I see. And does it converge smooth, like ideally?
No, it's like it's zooming down, but
That's smooth. Okay, that's all for me. Thanks.
Yes, so I just have I just posed a question on the Zoom chat. I just wonder about the application of this engine. So I understand that there's going to be a lot of misunderstanding, but in reality, my understanding that's normally people gonna also chat with the full meaning. So what is the exact application for this product?
As I say before, that this demo that I give you on this presentation is just a demo. But beside that, we have built an API and to allow other third side to can access our model. Yeah, we do have an API, and we do have Dockerize our model option to allow other to deploy our model to their product. That is all I want to say.
What is the end? What could be the end user of this? And what actually values that you wanna bring to the end user?
So end users will like be users of texting apps, maybe like the older generations who have a difficulty with like typing with the critics, because it's like they're not used to the new technology. So and like a lot of keyboard nowadays like have a lot of errors. So we want to try to prevent that as much as possible. So that's like, and also like a lot of English who want to learn Vietnamese have trouble like writing out their critic. So this is also one of our target audience. Yeah.
Also that if like Unicode, you know about Unicode, right? Or any company that build a keyboard, a virtual keyboard on smartphone, they can call our API to check that if the sentence the user is need to repair.
Okay.
Something like that.
I see.
Or any learning English app like like Duolingo. Duolingo, they have use case that the foreigner need to enter the fully accent sentence of Vietnamese no-tone version. Like uh, if the screen show tôi đi học, the foreigner user must enter that tôi đi học. So with our product, we can check that if the user is enter wrong or right. I think that our user is mainly like company of yeah, is the target user. Maybe not the end user, but the company want to use our API.
Okay, so it can be like apply in communication and education, kind of like for some companies just do the education and using the app as one adding feature to help them recheck the homework. Kind of thing. Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all for me.
And any other question or comment? Okay, great. So I think we just finished all the presentation today. Congratulations, all the team again. You did great job today. And now we will have 20 minutes for the evaluators for the church to discuss and finalize the prize today. And we will have a breakout room for the church, and Joe will follow with the church on the final discussion. At the same time, I also prepared a game again, Kahoot, as the final quiz for our students. And it's also open for the other audience also watching in the Facebook fan page too. So you have a chance to compete with our students today at the final quiz. Okay. About the quiz today, it will be a Kahoot game including the questions of all the weeks that you have learned during the bootcamp program. And the prize for the winner, the top one, will be the book Clean Code, which is also a very good book that's recommended by lecturer Lita in the quality programming week. Okay. Hello, Angel. I still see you here. So are you moving to the breakout Zoom?
Okay. I wait for Jeff, so I've been joined to
So here only the students, right? The mentors, do you want to compete with the students too? So again, this is open for everyone, the students, the mentor, and also anyone who's watching in the Facebook fan page. Can you hear the sound from my computer? Can anyone hear the sound from my computer? Can comment. I and also Joy. Okay. We want to compete with the students. Let's wait for more players to join. So I'm looking for more. 1 more minute. I just remember I own the prize for top 3 in the NLP Bootcamp. So please send message to me in case I forgot. Okay, 25. 26. 26, we reached to 30 players. Okay, last chance for the players to join. Oh, only 25. So anyone just dropped, so I'm waiting for you to come back. We are going to start it soon. So it's 25. Okay, I started now. The first question. To improve code quality of the code file, we should is from the very first week of the program, as you remember. Okay, so it seems that a lot of players choose the D option. It seems the good option, right? But the correct answer is B. Declare every function's purpose, their variables, data types, and limitations. Because the first option is not related, and this one is also not correct because we can set more than 79 characters. Okay, so let's see who's the only one who have correct answer. How I can spell this name? Lord. Lord. Okay, so let's go to the next question. We have 20 seconds for each question, so please be careful. This is another question from the second week research. Seems good distribution, and the correct answer is C. Trackability, readability, and reproducibility. Thank you, Jeff, for sending us this question. So this reminds us about the knowledge we learned from the week 2. Okay, and let's see the scoreboard. Okay, Lord, continue to be the first place, and Tammy with her track record of winning the Kahoot game just go to the second place. Hà is now buồn ngủ and Hoàng and Hưng. Okay, so let's go to the next question. What below is not the benefits of web storing files in object storage? So the correct answer again is C. Allow fast query updates, delete of always changing data. So please be noted that the question is not the benefits. So allowing fast query updates and delete of always changing data is the benefit of storing files in database, not object storage. Okay, so let's see the scoreboard again. Oh, so it changed a bit, but Lord still be the winner until now. So let's go to the next one. The fourth question. This is a multi-select question, so you can choose more than one option. Which following compression methods could be applied to any neural networks without retraining? Yeah, and the correct answers are pruning and quantization. Seems a lot of players are correct in this question. So the top 5 are changed after every question, but the top one still the same. So let's see, anyone can just go top 1 and just win Lord for this position for next question. Which following AWS service is equivalent to Docker Hub? This question is provided by Tim. Yeah, so the majority of the students get it correctly. Is ECR. Okay, so we just go half of the total questions. And let's see the leaderboard now. Oh, so the snake just go and win the first place now. So I see it's like more interesting now. So let's go to the next question. Which training objective is not used in layout LM to retraining? This is from the CV week, as you remember. Yeah, again, majority of the players get it correctly. It's mask image modeling. Yeah, and the snake still keep the first position now. Let's go to the seventh question. This is about front end. Just remember the knowledge you learned from the week that Mr. Tiger taught. Majority of the players get it wrong, and the correct answer is view. I think Tiger will be really sad to see this result. Oh, and the snake is still correct for this answer. And actually the last one having score. So the question is, this requires knowledge about the last lecture in NLP advanced lecture. Yeah, a lot of players get it right. It's non-creative output. And this is the leaderboard until now. Okay. And the last two questions. This is for the voting. So majority of the player choose I love you all. It seems like it's the correct answer to be said, right? But actually for this question, we will not count the score. So don't worry. Yeah, you just can put your team name or other team or yeah, this correct question. And the last question today. Oh my God. I think someone just manipulates the result here. So, but thank you for your word. I will capture this one as this our memory. And yeah, thank you for sharing your feeling and your words for the program this year. Okay, this question also do not count for the score. So let's see the leaderboard and to see who will get the book as the gift for the top one. Okay. Congratulations. First next, I don't know your name. Yeah. So sorry for him and Anya, who also get very high score, but you will not get the book. So who is the snake here? Can you raise your voice? Otherwise, I cannot know you and send the book.
Hello.
Yeah. So who is the snake? No one?
I am snake.
Oh, so Khôi Nguyen is a snake. Okay, I hope that like no one from the Facebook fan page will message us that they are the snake. So congratulations, Khôi Nguyen. So the book will send to your location soon after the program. And yeah, that's the end of the quiz. And now we will have a short break, so you can go to the toilet or just relax before we go back with the final prize announcement by the judge.
It's never been more important to secure your site's data. Show visitors their data.
Hello to you. They are in.
Kết quả. A professional website is crucial for success in today's digital world. Trust your site to GoDaddy, the world's #1 web host. Now with free domain plus SSL certificate included with annual plans. Learn more at GoDaddy.
When you want to sort out your Mac once and for all, what do? Most tips from the internet didn't work. You tried emptying the bin, cleaning browser history, everything, but your Mac is still slow and your downloads are painful to look at. You just want to have a workable Mac, and every Mac user, I assure you, feels the same way. Then you have to once again look into Clean My Mac X. This app has been notarized by Apple, and in their words, they love it. Get a Clean My Mac X license and you'll have a magic toolbox to solve the most common Mac issues. Just like that, in a click. So this is what you're getting when you activate the app. You'll be able to use 30+ tools without limitations. You'll keep your Mac safe from malware. You'll constantly keep your system in good health. And did you know that the average lifespan of a MacBook is 7 years? With Clean My Mac X, you can prolong its life and save on getting a new expensive Mac. And you don't have to buy it at full price. Here's a 20% discount that you can activate with the
Oh, so quick. So I see the judges all here. And I believe the final prize is ready now, right? Okay, so let me ask the Hanoi office to just go back to the room. Before announcing the final prize, so I'd like to invite the representatives from the church to share with us some of your comments or feedback to the team today. So we will spend maybe around 10 minutes for the comments, the final comments from the church. Okay. Firstly, can I hear from anh Tân? Hi, anh Tân.
Yeah, hi.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I can hear you clearly. So glad to see you today. And
Okay.
could you share some final comments?
Sure.
Okay, so it's me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I hear someone else. Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much for attending this AI demo today. So on the teams, right efforts that you have done to accomplish your project, right? Right result and the right presentation, right? So even though the results we saw like someone who win the award today, someone ranked second, or even the order of the ranking is not important, right? The most important one is you have put your effort to realize that product, right? And show up the capability, the ability of your team. And I hope that you learn, how to work as a team together to make something very useful from your engineering skill from this project. And that will be the most important thing from from all of this. Yeah. So and and good luck with all of the future endeavor, and keep up this the spirit and this ambition to and the to accomplish more in the future. That's all I hope to say today.
Thank you, Anton, for your inspiring words to the students. Yeah. And next one, the final comments. I'd like to invite Jeff. Can you share something?
Yeah, sure. Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Hey, yeah. So first, I would say like I'm quite surprised. The reason is like I found the composition for member in bootcamp this time is more diverse. I mean, like previously we had bootcamp member, like most of them have background from AI, but this time I can like observe for the demo this time. Like it's not only about the AI solution, right? And in reality, it's also not only about AI. It's about like the overall system design, how about the user experience, and how your solution actually connect with the business. So first, I would say I like all the team like perform over my expectation. So congratulations. And about Queen, do we have to give some feedback for each team now or?
Oh, yeah. So maybe when I announce the prize,
Okay,
so you
okay.
can add more.
Yeah. So I think I will like share some more specific feedback for each team later. But overall, yeah, I would say good job. And yeah, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for your final comments. And any other comments from our judge and Kevin, and Hùng, and Summer?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, for me, I think it's very excited because it is the first time we had the engineering joining the bootcamp of Cinnamon AI. So yeah, because it means that like engineering and having some sort of product apply is becoming very important for the AI fields now, right? Because like first in the very like previous year, we only focused on researching. We only focus on having the better models, right? But now I mean like models is becoming much better now by contribute everyone, right? So now we must focus more on the product side. We build the product which can be easily applied and can be used widely. So I think it's getting more important. And you guys did a very good job. You had a lot of research. You had a lot of like investment on the user needs. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, I think I can see the future of tech industry of Vietnam here, right? Because there's a very good student, including the product mindset and engineer and the understanding of the AI. In the last few months after I left my previous company, I spent a lot of time to discuss with many people, even around the world, about what made the good engineer, right? So I realized that the good engineers should have the good product mindset, how they use the technology to solve the real world problem, not just to writing the code, right? And how they pay attention to build a reliable software, the good quality, right? And then how they adapt with the change, the fast change in recently, right? And I think I can see some team here, a lot of people here can pay attention for the user. You guys pay attention to investigate the real world problem, right? And spend time and use technology to solve that problem. That's really good. You guys should continue to improve about all aspects of software development, not just for the coding, right? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, anh Hùng. And maybe some words from our Vietnam country manager.
Yeah, I think that our judges have shared a lot, And so do I. I feel very excited, and I feel very happy to listen to different idea. So different presentation here is like very diverse idea, but I can see the touch between those idea and the actual project, the actual demand that we, the actual solution that Cinnamon AI we bring to our client, and some also related to the internal demand that Cinnamon also have, like the headache when in terms of communication, in terms of collaboration. So I can see that there are very practical idea already like embedded inside the assignment and the work of the student. And that is a very good signal. And I hope that in the future, we're going to have more chance to discuss further about, like the further application after behind your great idea in terms of technology, and going to be a lot of practical things that we can discuss and share together. So thank you very much for giving me a very enjoyable time and a lot of imagination. And good job, well done, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our judge, for your comments. Yeah, and now I have the final prize in hands now. And I will announce for all the prize first, and then the judge, you can share some of the comments for each of the team to save the time, okay? Okay, I hope I can have some like music or sound here, but I will use my voice. Okay, so the fourth prize, the fourth prize. So we have two fourth prize. I will share the fourth prize comes to AI Avenger team. Can you see my screen? So congratulations, AI Avenger, for taking the. Okay, and I will stop sharing again. It's a bit complicated here. And the next team, who wants to be the next team who have the first prize? Just comment. The next team have the first prize is One Vision. Congratulations, One Vision. Okay, and it's now going to the third prize. The third prize goes to the team of 4 members in Hanoi, and it's Hanoi team. Congratulations, Hanoi team. So now I think the last two teams that like really want to know the final results for now. So which one do you want me to announce first? The first prize or the second prize? Yeah, the two teams should hold hands in Ho Chi Minh office, I think. Okay, so I will announce the second prize. The second prize comes to one team that have 5 members in Ho Chi Minh. And the second prize is Fantastic 5. Congratulations, Fantastic 5. So you must know the first prize go to the very amazing team. I believe that this team are so very dedicated and hardworking during the journey with this program. The first prize comes to Vision team. So congratulations again. Okay, so for our just do you have you want to add some comments for each of the specific team or any reason for the price? So you also can share it now.
Okay, maybe I can share first. So I will pick up something to share. So let me think about it. So first about Hanoi team. So I think like as the last team, you are also still like being quite impressive. The reason is like I believe you are the team who have the most hands-on experience with AI architecture, training model, fine-tuning model, some AI practice. So yeah, I think it's quite impressive. And I think it's also like you share and like your mindset, like your mentor's mindset, like try to learn as much as possible. And I believe like through this journey, like you must learn a lot about like how to build model and how model will behave depend on the data you serve. So I think this kind of experience are very like valuable for you in the future. So yeah, so congratulations for Hanoi team. And second, I would like to share about with the vision team. So when I review your repository, I think it's quite impressive. Somehow it's like sometimes even better than some repository in our company. It's very solid and the overall like system architecture are well constructed. And I believe it's partially because like your mentor is team. Not sure because team is the master for cloud service. So yeah, I believe like your repository is the most well constructed one. And yeah, follow the best practice. The thing you can improve is like I believe the way you tell the story and how you design the final application can be better. Like the way you apply this feature, I already can come up with like several ideas how to improve your final application. Yeah, so I think this part can be further improved. But overall, I think every you are definitely qualified as the #1 in this bootcamp. And talking about maybe Team 3, fantastic. I think like your application is one of the most practical one, right? So I can imagine the market should be very big. And also your demo is quite solid. And even me, like I would like to try your product. Yeah. And on the other hand, I think one thing you can improve is to think more carefully about how user interact with your product and how you can build a stronger competitive edge to like impede other competitors going in the future. So this about the fantastic. So I already speak for 3 teams, so maybe I will leave other teams for other judge. Okay, so let me stop here.
Yeah, so maybe we can hear from the other judge for the comments. I think it's very valuable for the teams as the recognition of their efforts during the journey with the program and also the feedback that they can improve in the future.
Okay, so can you hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I will represent for the engineering. In terms of engineering, so I think you guys, all of you, did a good job. I can imagine like you at the time I was the same age as you. We are the same age, Hong and me, myself, we are the same age. And at the time, the same age with you guys here, like 20 years ago, right? It's not possible for us to do something like this. It's really interesting. It's really like awesome, you know, like you did everything packaging in a Docker. I know that Docker is quite new technology. We don't have that one, but like at the student level, you can make everything package very well. Having some sort of like CI/CD running, although it's not very perfect, but it's great. It's great. Everything can be like packaged well and automate somehow. But one thing it's really missing from you guys. I didn't see a lot of tests because you know, like testing is very important. Like if you want to maintain the quality, you want to maintain the production level. Production level is very important. It's like tightly coupled to the testing, how you test well. So when you refactor the code, you don't need to like you don't need to like look up to every single detail, right? Again, you find the bugs, because bug can happen like when your product grows bigger. Yeah, and if you have the unit test, you have the, besides unit test, you also have a lot of other different kind of tests. So I expect that you guys can have more tests for the products. And the other thing is about the maybe the architecture, right? The architecture maybe I know that like you did have apply some sort of architecture, but maybe we need to also understand clearer about the intention of the architecture. For example, you mentioned about the aggregator, some sort of like somehow the LLM architecture, right? So maybe we need to understand clearly like how it works, and what is the pros and cons for each. Yeah. So I think that is something from the engineering side I can share with you guys. Basically, what you did is wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comments. And yeah, I think that's quite enough for like all the comments today. And you also can meet our judge at the office in Ho Chi Minh City for further talk and feedback, and also consultation on the further development in your career. Yeah, and just like the final prize, this not the team prize, but we have the special prize for this year. So this have not happened for the last year of the program. For this year, we have one prize for the most valuable person, because during the observation of the students during the program, we see your dedication on taking the intensive class. Although you also have the other class in university and also have other stuff to do, but you are really dedicated attending all the class and also finishing all the assignments every week. So we do a silent tracking of all the students, to be honest, including the attendance tracking, the scoring of your assignment every week. And we comes up with the most valuable person who show your strong commitment to the program and have the good performance during the program. And I have to say that the score of the members, the students are really like competitive. So just small difference that make the difference in the price. But we only have one prize for this most valuable person. So now is that player. You want to guess? Or anyone like who confident enough, like you can type your name in the chat. Now I will share the name of that member. I think he is he has a good performance, but he is a lucky person today because he has the triple prize today, I think, as the first prize of the team. The prize in Kahoot, and also get the most valuable person prize. So let's congratulate Nguyễn Ngọc Khôi Nguyen from Team Vision, who have the most valuable person prize for this bootcamp. Okay, yeah. So based on all the criteria, as I mentioned, Nguyễn Ngọc Khôi Nguyen show his dedication on the program and also excellent performance during the assignments. Yeah. Okay, so congratulations, Nguyễn Ngọc Khôi Nguyen again. And for this prize, we will have a small gift for you as like encouraging gift as 1 million cash. Yeah, for this prize. So Yeah, that's all the prize for today. And that's also the end of the session today. Thank you again, all the judges, for spending your valuable time joining us today. I believe that your comments and feedbacks is like very inspiring and very helpful for our students in their career. And to our students, this is the final milestone of the program, but I believe it's just the early stage of your career. And let's move forward and always keep your good energy, having courage, determination, and strive for excellence. So I believe that the success will follow you on your career. Thank you again and congratulations for finally graduated from Cinnamon AI Bootcamp this year. And yeah, before closing, I'd like to take all of us to turn on your camera and we can take a photo together. I know that we will take more photo in the office, but now is the virtual photo taking. So, okay. So two screen for me to take. Okay, I take it 2 times. 1, 2, 3, cheese. And the next one, 1, 2, 3, cheese. Okay, thank you everyone. Yeah, thank you. And now I think we can stop the live stream on Facebook.